I found a DVD named EVROPA The Next Battle and watched it at 3 a.m. You won't believe what happens next. I was at my Z-Nazbol meeting when my comrade Gunther invited me over to his house to watch a DVD he found called EVROPA The Next Battle at 3 a.m. What happens next will shock you. It started normally. The intro was a thunderous storm with red text rising up. The secrets the Zionist world doesn't want you to know. I felt tingles down my spine. Soon, the screen was filled with World War II and Cold War archival footage. Werner von Braun's face appeared on screen. It was euphoric. Suddenly, the screen began to glitch. Braun's face began to darken, but his eyes stayed shockingly bright. "Gunther," I mumbled, "is this supposed to happen?" "Yeah, I think so. It's kind of dark. Most people don't get it anyways." Luckily for us, the glitches subsided for a while. Maybe the DVD was a bit scratched. The scene then cuts to a dramatization of the Kennedy Space Station in Florida. Von Braun is walking down a dim hallway. "Mein Führer," he says. Just as the screen turns to face an older Adolf, it cuts to black. "What's going on?" I shouted. "Is your TV broken or something?" A dark, ominous form appears then on the screen. It appeared to be an older, overweight, bald man. A dark, gritty voice began to whisper, "You're Jewish." He probably had too much goy slop. You were able to see that his clothes had dirty spots of nacho cheese and sweat. "How did he know?" said Gunther. "It was only my grandfather." "Never mind, he was one of the good ones." "Nigga, shut your mouth before I beat your ass." The screen flashed black and white. The number 88 flipped back and forth. Reddish ooze began to leak out of the DVD player. Gulp. I think we made a big mistake. Then the lights turn off in the room. 14, 80, 8. The raspy voice repeated. 14, 80, 8, 14, 80, 8. It became louder and louder. I felt my stomach sinking. Then the phone rang. 14, 80, 8. 14, 80, 8. Gunther picked up the phone. It was Ted, our mutual friend and a brave man. "You gotta help us," Gunther begged. "Some fat ghost is haunting us, a really fat old ghost who's also very fat and bald." "He's fat and bald," pondered Ted. Yes, has fat and bald," Gunther shrieked. "SUPERCRACKER," Ted responded. "I'll be right there. Did you find a DV? It's called something like EVROPA, The Next Battle, I think." Gunther turned pale white, which was shocking since he was usually a dark tan. "Yes." The floors began to creak. On the television, the face returned, redder, angrier, fatter. "You're Jewish. Why, what do you want from us? Just leave us alone," I cried out. "Glorious Adolf Hitler, please help us." The face scowled. That's what a Jew would say. The lights flickered harder than before. Ted called back, "I'm coming as soon as I can." Suddenly, the man from the TV appears. Then he began to flick a lighter from his pock. He started heating up the crack pipe in his mouth. The man, or should I say a very fat monster, appeared before us, somehow fatter than he appeared on screen. He began to blow smoke in our faces. "Any last words, Jew boy?" Ted bravely broke open the door. "I'm here to save you," he shouted. The obese monster turned around. Black saliva dribbled down his chins. "You're Jewish." Ted was armed with a golden STG-44. It glows as it seemed to be possessed by an Aryan spirit, as it has an ominous glow. Despite his mass, the obese monster lunged at Ted with the fierceness of an extremely overweight tiger. Ted shouts, "Begone, you degenerate skinhead scum! By the power of my Aryan ancestors, your brown malevolence will be vanquished," as he blasts the vril-infused Aryan STG-44 at the beast's rotund direction. Bang, bang! The monster-impenetrable armor of lard protected him. Ted began to sweat. How are you not dead?" "Because I'm not Jewish," The monster heaved loudly. Black tar began to pour into Ted's face. I was too shocked to help, and even if it did, I would have been dead. His screams turned to gargling as the tar began to eat away at Ted's flesh. The tar had a smell of McDonald's cheeseburgers. But how? Before he perished, Ted tossed the bag he was carrying. I couldn't understand what he was saying because he was drowning in black bile, but I understood what he meant. I opened the bag, and I saw it, a needle's worth of Ozempic. Gunther and I knew we had to do. "You tackle him, I'll jab him. Easy, pal," Gunther chuckles. "I've been vaxxed before." While the obese beast was hovering over Ted, Gunther lunged at his sweaty, greasy back. The abomination swung rapidly. "Get off me! You Jew!" While the beast was distracted, I army crawled my way to his knees. The smell that permeated was almost unbearable. "It smells like rotten ham," I shouted. Suddenly, he stopped thrashing. He looked at me and said, "You're Jewish." I snarked back, "You're fat," and stabbed him in the thigh. The beast realized what has happened and began to scream bloody murder. The beast screams out loud as he is getting deflated, shouting white power so loudly that the entire room starts to vibrate. "No, my beautiful mass! What have you done?" Smoke filled the room. The musky smell of garbage soon followed. Soon there was nothing but very large but baggy clothes. Gunther was alive but badly hurt from inhaling such toxic fumes for so long. Ted, I can't describe what happened to him. I warn you, every time I look at a television or my phone, I still see his face. Do not watch EVROPA, The Next Battle at 3 a.m. For the love of Wotan, please, whatever you may, do not watch this accursed DVD. At least if you don't have a shot of Ozempic on hand.